5 months ago, I talked about Hector David Jr. pushing over an elderly man, and Hector literally decided to turn around and be like, oh, I didn't do it. Like, this is all fucking lies. And Hector pretty much crashed out and went after a few people. And literally today we have an update to this story, and I am very glad that it happened. We have an update to the story, and I wanted to share that story with you. Over here at TMZ, they brought the story to light. Power Rangers actor Hector David Jr. pleads guilty to battery. Very interesting. Very interesting, because a while ago he was saying that there was two sides to the story, two sides to everything. What's going on? Oh my god, he was completely more resilient than Henry. I'm sure Henry will be talking about this and going into more detail, but let's read this. Power Rangers actor Hector David Jr. is cooling his heels behind bars after he pleaded guilty and was sentenced on Wednesday for assaulting a man in Idaho last year. Hector, who played the role of the Green Ranger, obviously, I really wish they put Samurai or something like, but Hector, who played the role of the Green Ranger in the superhero franchise, pled guilty to the misdemeanor battery in Cheyenne County Court and was sentenced to 180 days in jail, according to new legal docs. So I'm sure, like, Henry has that. Hopefully I can look at them as well. The judge suspended 130 days of his sentence, meaning that he only has to serve 45 days in jail or in the clink, but he will have to keep his nose clean when he gets out to avoid further time behind bars. The judge also placed Hector on a 2 years of supervised probation and ordered him to complete 100 hours of community service. As TMZ first reported in July, Hector got into an argument with an elderly man who used a walker over a parking spot in Nampa, Idaho. The situation escalated when authorities say Hector shoved the man to the ground, though he was not seriously injured. And I'm really glad that the elderly gentleman wasn't hurt, because Hector is a fucking scumbag. Hector then jumped into the truck and drove off, but cops later identified him with the help of the community, and a judge issued an arrest warrant. Prosecutors eventually charged Hector with battery in late July. And to kind of go over this a little bit more, basically this was the article that was published, and basically if we play the footage we'll be able to see. So I know Henry has a better one, and we have seen another one, but you can see right here that he actually does it. And what made me laugh was the fact is that over a parking spot, Hector was actually in a handicapped spot himself, and I don't think he is. I'm pretty much sure he's very able to constantly do backflips and do stuff, but also the truck wasn't his, which makes me laugh so much because he's just a cunt. Okay, so basically, yeah, we had all of this like go on. Oh, I do wish that Hector actually got more time because he deserved the full extent of it. But I know that he's going to probably crash out. He's probably going to do stuff. But this also doesn't look good for him, considering that he has done a lot more stuff over time. Back on the 6th of August 2024, Henry released a video and also linked his documents. So I know I've gone over this, but I want to kind of show more to show what sort of person Hector actually is. So this was his mugshot. And then we saw tons of stuff coming out about his criminal past, about stuff that what he has done. Some of the charges: touch or strike battery, domestic violence. Then you have on the 2nd of the 15th, on the 15th of the 2nd, 2023, at approximately 800 hours, the defendant willfully and intentionally struck the victim against her will. The victim, redacted, got into a verbal altercation with the defendant, Hector Rieva Jr., or Hector, over issues of infidelity. The verbal altercation continued, to which the defendant proceeded to grab the car keys belonging to the victim's vehicle in effort to hinder her ability to leave the residence. In an effect to get her keys, the victim continued. So obviously he didn't want her to leave. The defendant by waistline and demanded him to return her keys. The defendant then escalated the situation by shoving the victim against her will one time with a single hand push to her chest area caused the victim to fall onto the floor. In an effort to break her fall, the victim extended her right arm behind her, which caused her right pinky finger to become dislocated. The victim then proceeded to reset her finger into place and create a distance between herself and the defendant. I observed the victim's right hand pinky finger, which was a significant swelling and bruised. Images of the victim's wounds were captured and uploaded to the evidence. The victim also agreed to provide a sworn statement in the records to the incident. It should be noted that both the victim and the defendant have a child in common and reside together in the same dwelling as a family unit, making this incident domestic violence in nature. The defendant was charged accordingly. No information at this time. So we know that Hector has been arrested multiple times. There is court documents about this. No matter how you look at it, he is a violent person and needs a lot of help. And I really do hope that Hector does get that help. He does need it. He needs to go through a lot of rehab because you just can't go around attacking people because you get angry. You know, what did that old man do? He did absolutely nothing. I think he talked to Hector and said, hey, you can't park there. What the fuck is wrong with him? So I do hope that Hector does get a lot of help because right now, all it looks like is that he is just one angry person. And you can't argue that he's innocent or whatnot. He's now in jail, which I am very, very glad. I'm hoping this time in jail makes him go, oh shit, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. So yeah, I do hope that Hector gets help. He obviously needs it. And I hope that he has people around him that can help and support him because right now it's not looking good for him whatsoever. And I guarantee that if Hasbro do continue Power Rangers, he won't be brought back because I wouldn't want him on set at all. I wouldn't even want him in the franchise anymore for what he's been doing. Anyway, I am going to leave it there. 2025 is off to an interesting start right about now. What are your thoughts about Hector right now? You know, what do you think about him being in jail? Let me know down below in the comments and let's have a discussion. And while you're down there, why not hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimona Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。